Roses, oak trees, tulips, palm trees, ivies, and lilies. They all have something in common. No, it's not their magnificent and eye-gazing beauty. So what is it? All their leaves are green. But why? Why are most plants green? We know that chlorophyll in plants is great at making sugar by absorbing the light from the sun and using it as energy, so that roses can grow rose petals, apple trees can grow apples, and orange trees can grow oranges. But wait a minute, if chlorophyll needs the energy from sunlight to make sugar so that plants can grow, wouldn't it make sense for chlorophyll to absorb all the light that the sun emits? The fact that leaves are green means that the chlorophyll reflects green light from the sun. If chlorophyll needs sunlight to make energy for the plants to grow, why not just absorb green light as well to have ever black grass and ever black trees? But clearly plants aren't black, so why not be blue or red in color? Why specifically green? What's so special about green? Well, for one, believe it or not, green light is the most abundant wavelength that the sun emits. But this doesn't explain why chlorophyll refuses to absorb green light. Why would plants evolve to have chlorophyll that reflects the most abundant wavelength in the visible light spectrum, but absorb every other color? This has puzzled many scientists for a long time, and the truth is, we actually don't know why chlorophyll reflects green. But we do have a few theories. A long time ago, small single-celled organisms known as archaea roamed the Earth's oceans, absorbing every other color except for red and blue, making them purple in color. Because these purple archaea that roamed the Earth's oceans absorbed all the green light that was available, the only sources of light energy for bacteria and other organisms like plants in the deep sea was this minus green light. That is, every other color but green was available. So maybe chlorophyll evolved to absorb every other color except for green because those are the only sources of light energy that was available back then. If this was the case, why didn't chlorophyll and plants evolve to absorb green when they emerged from the sea? Well, maybe there's an evolutionary advantage in only absorbing red and blue light for photosynthesis. Although it is probably efficient for chlorophyll to absorb the energy from green light because it is the most abundant source of light energy that the sun emits, plants are highly sensitive to sudden changes in sunlight. Too much sunlight suddenly can damage the leaves, but a rapid drop in sunlight can cause the plants to have too little energy to make sugar, and they will just die due to insufficient light to make energy. So, if chlorophyll evolved to absorb green light, which is the medium between red and blue light in terms of energy per photon, this would be detrimental for the plants. Because when there are fluctuations in the amount of sunlight available, the noise produced from those fluctuations would make it harder for the plants to regulate the energy flow properly. One theory we have is that plants need to absorb light from a similar wavelength to reduce the internal noise produced when there are fluctuations in light intensity. We think they do this by absorbing red and blue light, which are complete polar opposites in energy and have different rates of energy output to buffer against the external noise produced during fluctuations in light intensity. So rather than evolving to obtain energy for efficiency, chlorophyll evolved to obtain smooth and reliable sources of energy. But again, these are only theories and speculations, and we do not know for sure if chlorophyll is green for this very reason. All we know is that chlorophyll reflects green. But what about other parts of the plants? Why aren't they green too? Why are rose petals red if chlorophyll reflects green? Although chlorophyll is the most abundant pigment there is, believe it or not, it is not the only one. Other plants and other parts of a plant contain other pigments that reflect different wavelengths of light and will only show their true colors in various seasons. For instance, in autumn, the temperature drops and the days become shorter, and the level of sunlight becomes lower. Because the amount of direct sunlight that plants get during autumn is less, chlorophyll begins to break down. Slowly, the other pigments within the plants begin to show their true colors. One is known as carotenoids, which reflects the yellow color we see in leaves during the autumn season. Now, carotenoids aren't just this yellow bright pigment, they also play an important role in transmitting the energy from light to chlorophyll. There are many types of carotenoids, such as neurosporine, which shows an orange color, or lycopene, which shows a red color. Another pigment is known as anthocyanins, which gives plants their bright blue, red, or purple colors. Anthocyanins absorbs blue and green light from the sun, which is why some plants aren't completely green and there are different variations of green. In fact, the pigments of anthocyanins are affected by the pH. A lower pH will make it more red, and a higher pH will make it more blue. So clearly plants aren't black because there are different pigments that reflect different wavelengths of light. Although we don't know why chlorophyll evolved to reflect green, it's good to know that we have a few ideas and speculations, which can help us understand more about the evolution of plants.